today we're going to be at this is at Greensboro. This is KGSO, Greensboro Piedmont Triad International. Um, by the way, it's a nice airport, but if you notice, even I'm in a 777-200. We'll be taking 254 passengers to Dulles, KIAD. We're not even landing in Reagan because I just have some concerns about the size of the plane and having enough runway. So KIAD may have some longer runways. Although KIAD is not necessarily a huge airport. So anyway, we're in Greensboro, North Carolina. Nice place. And we're cold and dark. And I have not flown numerous flights on the 777, so it could be interesting. We'll be going off on runway 23 right, which is located down this taxiway here. On the other side, you'll see it over there. So we'll be actually leaving from this way here. But this is a nice airport, Greensboro. It's very just sharp. It's kind of, it doesn't get enough flights, but the flights that do come in primarily would be your 737s, Embraers, smaller commercial airliners, but you don't necessarily get any big planes. A couple of other things I'll preview for you is I did activate world traffic, and I didn't put it on a heavy load, so it's on about 30 to 35% capacity. But so we should see some comings and goings of planes. I didn't zone for a minute. I was texting. You know, that's what every pilot needs to be doing, texting and flying. Um, anyway, this is the heart of the hub area for Piedmont Triad International, and so you've got two primary um, hallways, or whatever you want to call them, but for where the jetways are, and then the main entrance to the airport. Um, and it really is a nice airport. Um, and anytime I can find a flight that is going out, if there is a Greensboro flight, it's nice because it doesn't feel as, I don't know, rushed, intense. TSA is going to be TSA wherever they are, but it just has a different feel to it. World traffic aircraft, usually you'll see a light like a taxi light or something on the world traffic aircraft, but I don't see any. I'm going to pull up the map for world traffic here too, and we can see what's going on. So this is world traffic. So we just had two planes that took off out of the area. This is really kind of real life. It really is like this. Much more laid back. here at this airport. Although FedEx, UPS, a lot of the cargo hubs, man, they're going gangbusters here. This is excellent. Man, they actually brought in an additional runway that had all of the the community up in arms. They were fussing and carrying on. Hey, there's one. So this one here is probably prepping to go, but these jets are not your standard jets. In fact, they're over here with me in the cargo area. So that must mean that they're going out too. Well, let's get in the cockpit. We can spend enough time out here. So we're cold and dark here. First things first, when we look at everything, let's go up high. And we do have external power that is available, and we may use it. We may use it in this case. But we want to, the first thing we need to do is get the battery going. And the APU, we can go ahead and light up the APU. Spring up the external power. I'm probably wasting power with the APU, but hey, you know. Right, we're going to go row by row here. Basically anything that you see that says off, we are going to hit on. I don't need this one yet, so we're not going to light up APU there yet. Right. Window heat can come up. I don't think we'll hurt anything to do this, and it's famous last words, but I'm bringing these to auto and having these in an on position. Smoking stays to on. Seat belts to auto. No other lights that we need there for now. Next row. Cargo, we're not doing anything there. Fuel, we're not jettisoning any fuel. We are activating the left and right pumps, but not the center pumps. I don't know if it will be necessary at any time. Beacon is up, and we need nav up. Right row. We're putting the packs to auto. Trim air to on. We're turning on the recirculating fans. Bleed air. And all of these can go to auto. We can go ahead and turn the APU to auto. And that should complete for now what we need up here. Let's get some coffee. You're not going to be needing that. Alright, in order to get help from the ground, we need to make contact with the ground and everyone. So we're going to see if we can make contact. So we're on mic now. We're cabin, purser. We're going to say hi to the purser.
This is the captain. How do you hear?
Hi, Captain. Hear you loud and clear.
Hello, this is the captain.
We are all here and ready.
Great. Next thing, we need to go to the ground crew, and I have to hit this button here for ground crew to come up. Just remember that. Ground crew. they always answer slower because they're busy.
Hello, this is the captain speaking.
Hi, Captain. Hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful. Okay. Next stop, we're going to pull out this here. There's a screw above power that you can pull this out, and you know what, just for visuals we'll do it right here. So I'm going to go to external services, Navigraph. I already have my information in here. Yep. Zoned again. No, I had to. I'm not sterile cockpit yet. Okay. All right. So I had to take care of something. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to get data from SimBrief. Like I said, my SimBrief name's already in there. There it is. So we got the whole flight plan here. Got our information, and that we'll need that in a little bit. So let's go back to menu, and I'll try to go slow on some of these. I don't need to rush. I'm going to go to airplane, and we're going to need ground services. And some of these things will kind of, it will look, it looks different about how you get to it, but it's the same for every airplane. You need ground services. Okay, so I'm going to click ground services. Already you see the GPUs are in action, chocks are available, stairs are up. We're going to go ahead and ask for some services, but you know, earlier when we made that call to the ground crew supervisor, if we didn't make that call, we couldn't do what we're doing right now. Yeah, they'll tell if they want to answer, or they'll say they just want to answer.
We require some equipment.
Which, sir?
Okay.
Ross?
Very well, sir.
Alright, that should be enough to get us started there. And things are going to start getting a little busy. The only thing I wish they'd fix is vehicles dropping from the sky. Don't think that's real realistic, but hey, you know. The busy ground crew there, that's kind of cool. Are you going to open the door? Are you stuck? Nah, I'll leave you be. That's a lot of ground crew for this. I'm guessing the guy that's on the top of the stairs would be like the supervisor dude. I can see the bleed air coming off the back there. So anyway, some of our configuration, it's easier to do it this way now. So I'm going to pop out. I'm going to pop this out. I'm going to pop this out too. This is our FMS because I can work with these two together. It makes it a little bit easier, and I can get to things that I need to for our setup, including our loading. So we're going to go to airplane. In this case here, actually, no, we're not. We're going to our flight plan. Which has our route in there and our information. And let's go ahead and we're going to do our initial setup. So here we have the set inertial position. First thing that we're going to do is going to put in KGSO. Always have to make sure the scratch pad is free. KGSO. Here we go, and this is us. Our numbers look almost identical, but I think we can pull just this. And you can see we get colors popping up on our horizons. That's good. Okay. And we are going on this journey from KGSO to KIAD. Our flight number is DAL 5569. And we don't have a company route. I think we actually could put, there's information we could put in there and bring it up. It's like, it's the flight plus 01. We're going out on runway 23. Right, let's see if it'll let me enter that. Yeah, it will. Okay, so we have the basic information entered. We're going to go to this part here now. So we know that we're going to be going out on the Quack 8 for our departure. But We're going to go now to depart 23 right. Let's see if we have our transition. I can pull up our transition here. Hold on. With the transition, well, actually, of Quack 8. That was hard. And SBV. Alright. And hey Brian, you there?
Hey Steve, I'm here.
You're in charge of all comms on this flight.
Got it, Steve. I'll handle the comms from here on out.
Would you get our IFR clearance, please?
I'll get our IFR clearance now.
Greensboro clearance, Delta 5569, requesting our IFR clearance, please.
Give me 1 second for that clearance. I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Clear to Washington Dolls via Quack 8 departure, climb and maintain 6,000, then flight level 310, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.35, squawk 6656, Piedmont 601.
Delta 5569 cleared to Dulles via the Quake 8 departure, then as filed, climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 29010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.35 squawk 3564. Expect runway 23 right.
Greensboro clearance, Delta 5569, cleared to Dulles via the Quake 8 departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 290, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 124.35. Squawk 3564. Anticipate runway 23 right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Delta 5569 readback correct.
Flight 5569, heading to Washington. We kindly ask you to take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to our crew. Thank you for choosing Delta Airlines, and we hope you have a pleasant flight.
Right. So let's see where we were. We're coming out on Quake 8. SBV. So I should be able to put the Jackson in here. Okay, this is getting old. Okay, so let's see if I'm misspelling. If I'm just looking at it wrong. J. Okay, all right. Sorry, guys. Had a total brain meltdown. So I'm trying to spell correctly, almost correctly. J A X S N. Better? Okay. Now we're going to go direct to Dorn. Dorn's already in the flight plan, so I'm going to bring this up here. And we should have all of our things, including our vectors, going out on runway 23, but it should turn us around to our departure vectors, and that looks good, right? Okay. Now back to loading. We're going to look over our numbers for loading, and this would be our weight and balance, and we're going to fill this from SimBrief and do our fuel planning. Okay. So initially, our trip fuel is 4272. Okay, I'm looking at kilograms. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. 4272. Yeah. Our contingency fuel is 1604. Our alternate is 3665. Reserve fuel on this journey is 2436. Sorry, 2436. I don't think we're carrying no extra fuel on this. I could put some extra fuel in, but I think we're going to be okay. That brings us to a total of 11,970. Actually, on my flight plan it's 77. Yeah, so I think we're all right there. Right. A couple of other numbers is taxi fuel. So our taxi fuel is hold on. Six three five. And I don't. Do I have any APU fuel in here? Let me see. I do not, so I'm probably just blowing fuel on the APU right now. Okay. Probably didn't need to do that, but that's alright. I'll get over it. Now, where do you go with this once it's in here? Transfer planned fuel data to the fuel loading system. So I've just done that, and you'll see where that shows up in a moment. And now let's go to our loading page. So right now, we have to load, which by the way, this flight's not using very much fuel, but I'm going to go ahead and tell it to set up the fuel.
Please start the refueling process now.
Not possible.
Clearance, UPS 1271 Heavy requested IFR clearance to Memphis, to Louisville.
What am I doing wrong?
I am working on that clearance. Stand by.
I cheated. I think I cheated a little bit there, but um, I told it to load. So we're actually carrying a little bit of extra fuel with us. You know what? Let me go back and see if I can. So for fuel planning,
Go ahead and fuel the aircraft.
I am starting the refueling process.
so he should put it back down to touch it up. Okay, so to load on board, we have 213 passengers.
We are ready here for the boarding.
Yes, sir. Boarding immediately.
The aircraft is ready for the catering service to be performed.
Will do.
We are ready here for the loading.
On it.
And what I'm looking for here is he's synchronizing. There we go. So he has now synchronized my fuel with my flight plan. I'm going to request a
Would
fuel
you
sample.
please send a fuel sample to test the freezing point?
Yes, sir. As usual, expect the answer within a few hours over CPDLC.
Much appreciated.
I need to move to a different Windows. I have a one set for the left side, but I noticed the. How about if I do this? I'm going to do Control 6. So this is the right side, and there's the left side. Oh, there's 3. I have 3 set up for window view too. Guys, do some work. Don't talk about your night last night. Just do some work there. Ugh. Okay. Let's check our radar while we're at it. See if we've got any activity. I do see a flight right there, but once again, it's not super busy. I think Q8 Pilot's up also. His channel's open right now, and yeah, I'm not really hurt myself that bad, but Q8's been a big positive influence with me.
There should be enough fuel for you now. It's done.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, as soon as everything gets loaded, we'll do the next part. We're going to go ahead and turn up the auto throttles and have the flight directors on. God, that call's coming in on Purser.
Captain, the catering loading is complete.
Thanks.
Good job. Is it really only 207 miles to Dulles? Wow. I did not realize we were that close. Maybe it's good I didn't go more often.
Piedmont clearance, United 715, requesting IFR clearance to Kilo Delta Lima Alpha.
I am working on that clearance.
Captain,
Stand by.
note the load sheet.
Can you please repeat that? 715.
Awesome.
Clearance delivery, Columbia 151 Lima Charlie. Ready to copy IFR.
Sir, to contact the ground, you need to set up everything properly.
Sir, we have completed loading the luggage.
Thanks.
Brian, can you turn the radio to ATIS?
I can't handle ATIS requests. You'll need to tune the radio yourself.
I just thought I could do it. So let me put it on here. 12855.
Greensboro Airport Information Echo 1700 Zulu. Wind 328 at 4. Visibility 26. Ceiling 0 high cirrus. Temperature 22. Dew point -1. Altimeter 2998. Landing runways 5 right. 32. 5 left. Departing runways 5 right. 32. 5 left. Clearance delivery is 121.750. Advise on.
Alright, we got it. I'm setting my initial altitude to 4,000. Okay. Aircraft loaded. Awesome. Okay. You come with me. So, let's go ahead. Our gross weights. Can I just request it? Will it let me load it? On the Zebo, I could just hit performance initialize and request and load. On this I can't. Okay.
Clearance, good afternoon, sir. 711.
So our ZFW is 167756.
Clearance on request. Stand by.
Our reserves. Is 2.4. Our cruise altitude is 290. Our cost index is, I just saw it earlier. Tell me if you see it. I don't see it. Huh? There's another way I can cheat and get it. It's not really cheating, but it's cost index is 15. Okay. Everything's loaded there. It looks like our takeoff should be a 5. Yeah, that gives us a V1 of 116. Ah, don't do that.
Green cross there. We're on 1949 Echo with that 1949 Echo. Oh yeah, or to Atlanta.
Okay, so our ref speeds on. Okay, here they are. Right, so why did it do that? Okay, in any case it's loaded, but when I click on the 116 it doesn't load the same. I don't know. We're good. And I need to get our thrust info.
Yeah, so I was messing around now. Hold on. Can you see me building tank? No.
Everything looks dry today, so we'll go. What I'm looking up now is our V speeds. Our to get to get our thrust and our percentage. Let's see.
What? It might not work because there's 5 people on the road.
International Airport via the Tri-9 car wind. Correct, Fayetteville, direct departure. Inbound, maintain 5,000, expect flight level 310, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 136.6, squawk 2425, expect runway 32 for departure. Lift information below. Climb Air 023. Climb Air 023, read back, correct. Greensboro clearance, good morning, Brownie 390, requesting free IFR clearance to Chattanooga.
Dallas 5569. Do you have the current wind information?
Delta 5569, wind 290 at 18, gusting 24.
(290) at 18. Delta 5569. took that time. Alright, here we go. Takeoff data.
Chattanooga via Trisha 1 departure, climb and maintain 4000, then 340 10 minutes after. Departure frequency 124.35, squawk 4645. Expecting runway 23 right, running 390. Green Grove clearance, good morning, Allegheny 220, requesting IFR clearance to Chattanooga with information Juliet.
Alright, next thing is right now we've got a lot of equipment out there. And we're going to use some captain's commands to fix that. Well, some of the equipment's gone, but not all of it. So we're gonna tell them to remove all equipment.
Please disconnect and remove all ground equipment.
Got it.
And then they beam them up. Alright, but you notice we still have another problem. We have open doors. We got personnel that are still kind of hanging around, and we need them to go.
Go ahead and disconnect all ground equipment.
Sure.
I think I made a boo-boo. Because if I told them to remove all ground equipment, that would have been the generator too.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Papa Golfa is cleared to Hillsville, ready to vectors to Reedsboro, that is file. Climb maintain 4000, expect 8010, departure on 12435, squawk 223, expect runway 23 left, 311 Papa Golf.
I'm seeing if we can derate if we're at 54. No, I think we're fine where we are right now. So call them. And we'll set 138. Set this to 138. now. By the way, that's the first time I've seen they allowed me. They usually fuss at me and call me stupid if or something about the the GPUs getting disconnected. So I was kind of surprised they allowed that to happen.
You guys have his all. It's back in base.
All ears.
Close all doors.
So it doesn't have it for another at least like 10.
If there's still ground personnel around, we can't finish off until all the ground personnel's gone. So I'm going to go back to ground.
How can I help you?
Piedmont clearance, United 421, IFR to Charleston.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
Clear for Charleston via the TR-19 departure, then is filed, climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 270, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.35 squawk 6455.
I got to figure this out.
Delta 2949, IFR.
Ground crew.
How can I help you?
Ground equipment is no longer needed. Please remove it.
All right.
Now to figure this out, I need maybe it's a captain's command. Captain's commands. Remove all ground equipment. Ground crew.
Please clear all personnel around the aircraft.
No problem. All clear.
Got it. Okay. So one last check. We should be cleared of all personnel. GPU's disconnected. Brian, would you please get taxi, no, correction. We need push and start clearance.
I'll request pushback clearance now.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Greensboro ground, Delta 5569, requesting
Ground to
pushback.
cockpit. Tow is driving up.
QNH, by the way, in Greensboro is 2965. There's probably a way to synchronize this. I don't know how. I can figure it out.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
It's not like it's a big, doesn't take a lot to do it, but. That's a lot of vehicle to move right there. That must be a
So
strong.
connected and bypass been inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Right, engine start.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Dude, you got a death wish. Right, engine 1.
Bro, I don't have early game at all. I can't run my lane. What you mean? I'm gonna get some invertives. My early game is horrible.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
What do you have on? That means I'm not
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
He's good late, just early. If you use the ground on him, he can't do anything for a while. I mean, your lane gets some use.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. Well, see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright. APU, it's okay to take down the APU. Right. Flaps to 5. Project takeoff set on auto brake. TCAS is off. We need to enact TCAS. Auto brake RTU, parking brake set, doors manual, cabin call. I'm going to put that on auto, by the way. trim is set to 4.5 based on our cargo load and percentage. Brian, we're ready for our taxi clearance.
I'll request our taxi clearance now.
At your service.
Delta 5569 are ready to taxi. We have Victor.
Prepare cabin. We are taking off.
Okay.
Delta 5569, taxi to runway 23 right via Juliet Echo Hotel. Runway 23 right, Juliet Echo Hotel, Delta 5569.
I'd like to welcome you on board this Fright Factor aircraft. My first officer and I hope you have a lovely and safe flight on this modern Boeing 777 airplane.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Delta Airlines, we would like to welcome you aboard Delta Airlines flight 5569, heading to Washington. My name is Erica, and I am your lead flight attendant today. Joining me in the cabin are my fellow crew members, Alex, Maria, and John. Our captain for this flight is Steve Good, and our first officer is Brian Song. We are expecting a flight time of approximately 39 minutes. Before we take off, I would like to take a moment to go over some important safety information. Please ensure your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To unfasten, simply lift the buckle. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen, place it over your nose and mouth, and secure it with the elastic band. Remember to put your own mask on before assisting others. For water landings, life vests are located.
Caution, taxiway! Caution, taxiway!
Pull the vest out, place it over your head, and pull the straps around your waist. Inflate the vest by pulling the red tabs or by blowing into the tubes. This Boeing 777-200ER has 8 emergency exits, 2 at the front, 2 over the wings, and 2 at the rear. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In an emergency, follow the illuminated path to the exit. We will be coming
Approaching
around shortly
2,
with our
3,
in-flight service.
right.
And after that, you will have items available for purchase from the Delta Airlines shop. Thank you for
Approaching
your attention,
2,
and
3,
hope you have a pleasant
right.
flight.
That is kind of cool as she talks.
The cabin is ready for departure.
Prepare the cabin for departure. And Brian, go ahead and get our takeoff clearance.
Okay, Captain, cabin is being prepared for departure.
I'll request our takeoff clearance now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now preparing for departure. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened and your seat backs are in the upright position. Thank you for your cooperation.
Greensboro Tower, Delta 5569, holding short of runway 23 right, ready to depart.
Delta 5569, Greensboro Tower, runway 23 right, winds 290 at 18, gusting 24. RNAV Greensboro, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23 right, RNAV GSO, cleared for takeoff, Delta 5569.
This is a massive plane. The only
Approaching 2, 3, right.
reason I knew that Greensboro's airport handled the larger planes is the Air Force One constantly is practicing here.
On Runway 23, right.
Okay. Alright. Flaps are set. RTO is set. Chronometers are started. Landing lights are on. Logo wing, so we're lit up like a Christmas tree. We are ready to go. And toga. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps are up.
Delta 5569, contact departure on 124.35.
With departure on 124.35. Delta 5569. Good afternoon, we're climbing past 2500.
Delta 5569, Greensboro departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 240, direct John E.
Climb and maintain flight level 240, direct Genie. Delta 5569.
Right, 240 altitude set. And direct to Jenny. That's where we're heading. Okay. So we're going to do a flight level change. Is that Winston-Salem or High Point? probably maybe high point.
Delta 5569, climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 270, Delta 5569.
Right, we just passed 10,000. Landing lights are all off.
Dear guests, we are now at a safe altitude and you are free to use your electronic devices. Please ensure that they are set to airplane mode. Additionally, I am pleased to inform you that our onboard Wi-Fi service is now available. We will be coming around shortly with our in-flight service, and after that, we will have items available for purchase from the Delta Airline shop. Thank you for your attention.
What you're seeing here, by the way, on the throttle is my throttle, physical throttle. This is where it's setting right now. This is the actual throttle. I'm guessing I can mirror it. Will it let me? Without hurting the auto throttle. Yeah. I would just prefer to keep it closer to the actual, even if it's my physical throttle, just in case something happens. That makes sense. That's a nice cockpit, by the way. It's clean. Got a good look to it. My co-pilot went missing that. Brian, I just drank your coffee. I hope you don't mind.
No worries, Steve. I'll grab another one later.
Delta 5569, climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290, Delta 5569.
And go to standard on our that will be for you too. Yeah. There's got to be a way to set that to where I don't have to hit it 3 different times. So if I go to simulation, what I'm looking for is synchronize barometers.
Delta 5569, contact Washington Center on 124.05.
Switching to Washington Center on 124.05. Delta 5569. Center, Delta 5569. Afternoon climbing through Foxtrot Lima 210 for Foxtrot Lima 290.
Delta 5569, Washington Center, good afternoon.
I don't know how to set it up yet, but there actually is voice recognition on this. I'll figure it out. I just haven't yet.
Southwest 1421, descend and maintain flight level 180.
Okay, here we go. Timer, speed conversion, link, wait. I don't know. Minor thing we can figure out later. On approach, we're going to be looking at 30 flaps at 120 set. Whoa, that's awfully slow. I would rather come in at about 20 flaps at 138. And let's check out VNAV for descent.
Delta 5569, Washington Center, expect the Wiggle 3 arrival. Plan for descent in maybe 15 minutes.
Expecting the Wiggle 3 arrival. Planning descent in 15 minutes. Delta 5569.
Okay. If we're going to go Wiggle 3, let me see what goes along with that. Let me check my... Delta 5569, what runway are we expecting on the Wiggle 3 arrival?
Delta 5569, expect runway 1 center for the Wiggle 3 arrival.
Okay. I think the transition is the same, so it still will be Dorn. Try it. No, it won't. It's going to be Chip. Nah, it's not a big deal. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached our cruising altitude. We will be starting our snack and drink service shortly, and I must say, we have some delicious options available today.
Okay, so we're on our way to Dorn. Dorn takes us to Chip. It's like a left turn. And we're good. Okay.
Delta 5052, heavy, contact Atlanta Center on 124.425.
Over to Atlanta Center on 124.425. Delta 5052 heavy.
It's a lot of plane. Let me show you another feature on this plane, and it is a feature. So if I want to go somewhere on the plane, I've got shortcuts. So I think I'm going to go to airplane. Maybe it's just called shortcuts. There it is, shortcuts. I can get to anywhere on the plane. Like for instance, if I want to go to the aft galley, I can just click on that, and now I'm in the aft galley. So I can use my keys here. See out there. This gives you like an idea how big this plane is, which includes there's a special compartment somewhere in here. Let me see if I can find it. So this area up here is for the crew. This is where they, I guess on the longer trips, this is the sleeping area for the crew. So there looks like there are 4 places there to sleep. Anyway, it's kind of an interesting tour. Things you don't know about on the 777-200, but it has to have a sleeping quarters for the crew. Even though I wish there was is there a safer way to get to it? Because the only way to it is to walk out among the passengers, and if it's a matter of safety, that seems kind of shady. Well, right. We're 121 miles out. We're ready for our descent. Brian, go ahead and get our descent clearance.
I'll request our descent clearance now.
Washington Center. Frontliner, Delta 5569, requesting descent clearance to Foxtrot Lima 240.
Delta 5569, descend via Wiggle 3 into Dulles.
Would you like it?
Descending via Wiggle 3 into Dulles. Delta 5569.
I wouldn't say no.
Black orbit milk?
Milk will do fine.
No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to Washington. We kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the use of lavatories is no longer permitted at this time. Thank you for your cooperation.
What we're doing is we're descending. Dorn currently is 290, but we're actually descending a little bit early to 210, which is what you should be on chip. I'll switch back over to VNAV once we're on chip. I don't want to get ahead of the descent, so I can just go to the next flight level, which is 210. You see it on your screen, and then from there we'll basically just wait to the end of the chip, or the beginning of chip. And we're 94 miles out of KIAD. I must say this, the
Delta 950, contact the Tolman approach on 124.7.
the console, the controls on this 777, I think it's it's got to be the best. It's probably the best one I've ever seen. It's clear, it's crisp. Yeah, it's well done. Right, we're gonna switch back over to VNAV now. We should be okay now. Maybe we shouldn't be okay because he's starting to go up again. What we're waiting on now is we're about 40 nautical miles from the end, I think, chip to the chip, and once we get to that, that's the next waypoint. You notice there's a 150 waypoint for Judge, so we just have to stay on the same waypoint, because every time I hit VNAV, it actually tries to climb, because it's still, I don't know what it's thinking. Let's see, I don't want to put this on. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to put this on 2000, just let it stay there, and when we get to Judge, waypoint Judge, I'll click back over to VNAV. One thing I didn't do, once we got, because we don't need to keep those on, and it can cause extra wear and tear on the aircraft if I understand correctly, but I should have reset that to normal. And if that's the worst thing I do on this entire journey, I'm feeling good right now. I remember when I first started trying to fly the 777, and I watched a few videos, but I had the hardest time kind of getting acclimatized to it. It took a while, and you've got to kind of get yourself in the mindset you're not in a hurry, especially with all the things you have to do with loading, right vehicles in the right place, fuel, everything. Everything. So it's a lot to think. It's a lot to kind of process and think through. But once you get used to it, it's the aircraft itself. So it has to be one of the funnest ones to fly that I've seen, and it's beautiful. My favorite features on I think the flight factors have to be the pop-out windows. Like for instance, to be able to like put my flight plan over to the bottom right, and I haven't popped it out yet because it just hasn't. I haven't needed to, but I could. But like to have this somewhere more where I can see it, where it's not as small here. Is another plus. It just works well. When that comes in the most handy, I didn't use it on takeoff, but on takeoff it's nice to have that the bigger sized horizon, to have it closer up to you. Kind of like my version of the heads-up display on the 737, but that it's convenient. Right, we're 4.5 miles from Chip now. Okay, so now I'm going to switch back to VNAV. Trying to figure out if it's trying to decide if it wants to descend or if it's needing a little bit more encouragement. Maybe it just needed me to move it along. I mean, honestly, we've got 16 miles to get down to 15,150. It's not a lot, so maybe it's just not in a hurry. Alright, we'll monitor that, because I would rely. My idea is let VNAV manage the descent. I have altitude set to much lower altitude, but then to allow to step it down, because it looks like Judge should be down to 15,000 and then Jones 13, and then we step it down little by little. Okay, it's working. There it is. If you notice there, so it's just on it's on a feet per minute that fits the moment, so that's good. It's working. That air, do you hear the airflow, and then all of a sudden the airflow slows down? I think that's coming from the flight deck where I set it to auto. Let me try it. Maybe not. Let's set trim air. Well, trim air is on. Packs are on auto. I don't know. Let's start setting our and let's get our KIAD altimeter. It says broken clouds. Winds are at 320 at 10 knots, and altimeter is 29.46. And I would say that's significant. I'd like to have it set to the right setting. He doesn't care. You did? Yeah. That's you ever heard of the shortest NTSB report ever? You ready for this? So the shortest ever NTSB report that was done, investigation, is 4 words. You ready for this? Cat in the cockpit. That's it. That's all you need to say. No more words needed. Right, we're 70 miles out of Dulles, but also it looks like we're about to make our final turn when we get to Jones. Looks like our descent's going as needed, as scheduled. You've got 12 miles to get to 15,000. We'll make that no problem. And but when we make that turn, we'll actually, it looks like, you know, we won't be far from being set up on final. Let's see. So we're coming in for a 01 ILS straight. On the move. I think I have factored that into our flight plan. So we're on 01 center. Wiggle 3. Yeah, we're good. We are good. And we just went to Bill, which is 9,000. So we're descending not to 9,000. And yeah, making a turn here. Okay. We should be nearing down 240. We have to be flying right now.
5569, contact Potomac approach on 120.45.
Whoa, whoa, slow down.
Switching to Potomac approach on 120.45, Delta 5569. Potomac approach, Delta 5569, afternoon. We're descending past 15,000.
Delta 5569, Potomac approach, good afternoon, Dulles altimeter 29.907. Expect the ILS runway 1 center approach into Dulles.
Expecting the ILS runway 1 center approach, Delta 5569.
Come on, slow down. It still hasn't slowed down. I'm kind of jerking my passengers' heads right now, but that's we need to be at 240, and we're at 299. Okay, we're dropping now, but man, we were getting a little carried away. I guess when you weigh 161,000 pounds, it's easy to drop fast.
We are now on our final approach into Washington. Please turn off all electronic devices and stove them until we've arrived at the gate. Ensure your tray tables are put away, your seats are in the full upright position, and your seat belts are fastened. Our Delta Airlines staff will provide you with information regarding your connection flight once we are on the ground. Thank you for your cooperation. Crew, please check that everyone is seated and has fastened their seatbelts. Captain, cabin is ready.
Alright, that's better. Match up. I'm gonna see I can match up my throttle a little bit with his. It's kind of like that would be the equivalent of the Bug. We're lit up like a Christmas tree now. Seatbelt lights are on. We are 49 miles out. We're about to go to flaps 1 and let me make sure I've got a position correctly. So I'm just armed my speed brake. So it is armed. Okay. And at 240, we're going to try to go to flaps 1. And we're nearing vectors. We're probably going to get vectors here in a minute. Okay. We should go from wiggle to move. What is it, Meast?
Delta 5569, descend and maintain 3000. Maintain current heading 050 vectors for the ILS runway 1 center approach.
Descending to 3000, maintaining heading 050 for vectors for the ILS runway 1 center approach. Delta 5569.
Stop. That's not okay. You know what you did. Vegeta. Stop.
So I'm on currently at a heading of and we're going to activate that heading. That'll take us off LNAV. I'm going to change this meast to the vector spot and have it loaded so when time comes I'm ready. So there's meast. I've got a feeling he set me up either for move or mama or meast. I'll be ready for any of them. I think I would rather put that in there. I'm going to put move in there. M-O-O-V. So move, I'm going to move to Meast is there. I want to put Alright, I think so. We according to our flight plan are heading past Wiggle right now, and if we were to stay on this path, it looks like we'd go to, we're going toward move, but we're on vectors right now on a heading of 054. But it looks like it's going to take us right where we need to go anyway. So. Next time I'll bring up Navigraph, but I've got it on my tablet here.
Delta 5569, proceed direct meet. Descend and maintain 2000 until established on the localizer cleared for the ILS runway 1 center approach.
Proceeding direct meet. Descend and maintain 2000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 1 center approach. Delta 5569.
Easy enough. Okay. Thank you. I really want to go to Mama first. M-A-M-A-A. So all I did was I added a waypoint of Mama because it helps line me up with the runway a little bit better. More better. Even though we are direct to me. If this was, let's check our airspace right now. Do we have any? Well, we've got some traffic around here. We might see some world traffic while we're out here. huge wings. The bells and whistles were I tried to go to flaps 5. It's fussing at me.
Wow. I beat him too. That's the annoying part. I beat him too. That's the annoying part. I never have time to slap him.
My throttle. I'm saying my throttle, my wife's saying my coffee. Okay, alright.
They never expected. Ow! Oh no. Nice. If he hits me one more time, I swear. So you.
Right. I don't need you anymore. I think we're good. And I'll need you just a little bit longer. But we're at 2,000.
Okay.
We're at 2,500. And we are on approach. I'm going to hit the approach.
I'm scared we're gonna
And hello, mama. Okay, where? And there we are. I think we're going to be coming in here on center. 01 center. Well, I haven't been there in a while. There.
5569, contact Dulles Tower on 134.425.
Switching to Dulles Tower on 134.425, Delta 5569. Dulles Tower, Delta 5569, afternoon. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 1 center.
Delta 5569, Dulles Tower, roger. Delta 5569, Dulles Tower, winds 320 at 15, gusting 22, runway 1 center, clear to land.
Runway 1 center, clear to land, Delta 5569.
Right.
Okay, but why is that all winds, please? I'm all winds. I'm just saying, like, so.
Flaps 20. Throttle to 140 at 140 knots.
Airbus 7 November Bravo, welcome to Dulles. Contact ground on 121.625.
It looks, we're on the localizer. Right. That is a really neat shot. I'm just saying.
Technically build tanky items and stuff like that. Stuff like tanky. Like certain characters have like scaling for tank stuff. I know, I would actually. When you just but basically.
So we're at flaps 30, 126. So we're actually going to be slowing down some more. We're at flaps 30, 126. Actually, we're at flaps 20. Hold on. 25. 131. Okay. We don't have any real good pesky winds, so we're good. We're really good shape. We are what you would call stable approach. Approaching minimums. Okay.
400 minimums. 300. 200.
My throttle.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Pass.
So, in your labs right now, like in these grip tool stuff, I'm kind of considering there's a character that would let me stay still for so long, certain amount of time. Okay. How do you tackle it? Like, what's the
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just landed safely at Washington Dulles International Airport. The local time here is 1:30 p.m. The weather is quite pleasant, with a temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and we have some few clouds scattered around. Thank you for flying with Delta Airlines today. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of Captain Steve Good, First Officer Brian Song, and the entire crew, we wish you a wonderful day ahead.
I don't want to be standing, or I don't want someone to be standing there and looking at their storm path because they're in school. The next thing I know, I'm dead. Which, okay, typically, deadlock assassins, nice. Typically, deadlock assassins aren't really like that. Like, you don't get one shot generally unless you're really behind. But, still. Oh my. Okay. I'm on my goes.
Everybody good? Everybody good back there?
Yes, Captain. Everything is good back here.
I would say that was a buttery landing. What do you think? And oh, by the way, you see west of traffic. The traffic there. Is he getting ready to take off? Let's stop and watch. I'm going to get out. Yeah, let's just take a look at it. I've been wanting to see if there are some additional traffics here, and it looks like there is. So this is world traffic. So you're from World Traffic, I know. Do I have any other planes here?
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Dallas 5699. Do you have any? Do you have a gate assignment for me?
Delta 5569, contact ground on 121.625 for gate assignment.
Switching to ground on 121.625 for gate assignment. Delta 5569.
I don't know if because of our size.
Delta 5569, cleared of runway 1 center, ready to taxi to the gate. Good afternoon.
Delta 5569, Dulles ground, taxi to D24 via Alpha Zulu Echo.
D24 via Alpha Zulu Echo. Delta 5569.
D24. Hold on, I'm getting it. It's taking me a minute to look it up because I know what he's saying, but I've got the map in front of me. Nope. Am I missing something? Here we go. I don't know. Am I going to be able to get there? Okay. I'm going to try. Well, I'm looking at that huge plane over there, and I'm thinking there's probably a place for me. It is. It's on the far side over there. So there, I see some larger planes. There we are, D24. Right, before we can shut down though, we need some help. We need to reach out to ground.
American 549 ready for pushback and engine start. American 549 Dulles ground, pushback and engine start approved. Tail east. American 549. Dulles ground, Alaska.
See if they'll talk to me, or if they won't say they'll say I haven't established contact with them yet, because I need power.
I think you need to establish contact first. I think you need to establish contact first.
Well, the only other way around that is we need to start the GPU. They'll answer now because my engines are off.
This is the captain. How do you feel?
Hi, Captain. Hear you loud and clear.
We are in need of some equipment.
What can I bring you?
Primary GPU.
Very well, sir.
Captain, make sure the ground personnel is actually near the plane.
Captain, I think you might have forgotten the no smoking sign.
You may allow the passengers to disembark.
Unloading now.
Please start removing the catering from the plane.
Absolutely.
You may begin unloading the luggage.
On it.
Alright, this is next piece. right before we go, we will go back in. Let's see if it'll let me go back. Sometimes it has trouble rewinding because it's so intense, like that it takes up so many resources. Let's see if it'll let us. Take it little by little.
FedEx 1286 Heavy, contact departure.
Over to departure, FedEx 1286 Heavy.
Gulf Tower, Delta 1627 Heavy with you. Delta 1627. Heavy, Dulles Tower, roger. Continue approach.
Okay. It's is evidently when you're on the ground. What? When you're on the ground and I've already allowed for all the everything to be opened.
They have the weakest shots in existence.
Compartments are still open. So that's why it's just it chokes to go back and play the replay. I have to figure that one out. Well, in any case, that was a good flight. Yeah, it was. It was a good flight, smooth. I think we were able to do everything we needed. And I noticed that it even is allowing the ramps to connect, I think. Sure as the world. That's awesome. The jetways. It's allowing the jetways to be used. That must have been something they fixed, because it didn't always do that. Okay. In any case, hope you enjoyed the ride into IAD, into Dulles, and maybe you learned something. All right. I think I always did. Okay. I learn more from what I don't do than what I do sometimes.